stress about getting out so much. It's just trying to find the easiest technique, and don't worry if you screw it up too much or not. Okay. The one thing which, like I say about jiu-jitsu, which is really good, is the worse the situation you get into, the simpler it gets. Like there's less options for them, the harder it gets for you. Like they get on your back, right, and you kind of set yourself up. Like they're going essentially for a rear naked choke or a collar choke, or they're going to go for an arm lock. And it's more or less the same in the mount. It's like they're going to go for a cross collar choke. You're going to try and reach around your head maybe for a different variation of the choke, or they're going to arm lock you. There isn't a lot else they're going to do. Okay, if they can hit you, obviously it's a bit worse. Okay, but that's essentially it. So if you can start thinking, it's okay, well, most of those things go away if I can keep them down on my hips. And then that will hopefully give you, in your mind, a bit of time to be able to escape. Okay, so I can spend some time in the mount position, get used to it, keep putting them down on my hips, keep making it better. There isn't a rush. People really wear themselves out trying to rush to get out of the position. Okay, and I know sometimes it's life and death, but you know, when you're learning, it's not a good way to learn underneath that amount of stress. You have to do it right now. Okay, give yourself some time. It's like you've messed up quite a lot before. Okay, so like a lot of things have gone wrong. Okay, or maybe you just wanted to work mount. If you want to work mount, happy days. Spend the entire round there. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, but it's like a lot of things have gone wrong for you to get there, so it's probably pretty correct. It's going to take you a while to work your way out of it. Okay, best thing to do, again, take that time, look for the best option. Okay, if you start doing one, it doesn't have to succeed. Okay, if you start doing the escape and they counter it in some way well, it is not worth burning out all of your energy to escape that position with that technique when there is a better one on the other side which could be used for a lot less energy. Okay, but you'll have to put the time in trying to find them. Okay, between those three, okay, there's other ways to get out, but between those three, you should have like a good mount escape game if you start trying to work. Keep it playful, try and put them all together, and again, just try and do a bit of advanced wriggling, which I think sorts out a lot of problems in jiu-jitsu. And then we just look at, let's say, to take the final stress out of it, is escaping the submissions which are there. Okay, so we've got a few things to do to escape the submissions. The easiest one to deal with, okay, is going to be the arm lock. Okay, so if Dom gets up high, okay, it's pretty likely, okay, that like all my escapes, if you like, have gone at this point. Yeah, like there isn't a good escape from this. I know you can swing the legs up and throw them over. I'm just not sure that's a reliable escape. Okay, I think like Dom just keeping his elbows in tight will kill that off. if someone can just with a good posture, okay, just be able to get rid of the technique, I don't think it's really worth investing much time in. So I'm not going to try and swing my leg up around. I'm pretty bendy and I probably can actually, especially if he wipes his sweat away. Okay, and then Dom's gone. But let's say that's not an option. Okay, and I'm here. It's likely at this point he's going to want to attack arms. Okay, so let's say he starts going up for my arm. What I'm going to do is, it's really, really hard for me to be able to get my arm back at a certain point. Okay, but it's really easy for me to defend the arm bar. Okay, so what we're going to do is, at a certain point, you have to realise where mount has ended, and I can't get this arm back. That'll be different for everyone. Like depends on him, depends on my skill level as well. Okay, but he's going to go for the arm bar. So he goes for the arm bar, he goes to here. The worse this gets, the further he gets, the worse it gets. But keep going for it. And now, this is pretty easy to get rid of. Okay, all I'm going to look for is just to catch the ankle. Okay, so he goes for the arm lock. The more he goes for it, the more I push that ankle to the floor, and then I'm up and down. Okay, so we're gonna. The easiest way to do jiu-jitsu is to fight the next battle early as opposed to fighting the one you're in really late. So I'm really late to a mount escape. Okay, so my arms come up, really, really late. It's going to be hard no matter what. But the arm bar is pretty easy. What I do have to do is make sure he doesn't get control of my other arm as well. Okay, so I've got to be fairly relaxed with this. Okay, but then what I'm looking for very specifically is his ankle. When his ankle comes, I'm going to again stretch his leg away from his body, like I was doing with my own before. I'm going to stretch his leg as far away from his body as possible, okay? And then the more he pulls, the easier that will be to get on top, okay? So he goes for it again. I'm now thinking, okay, go for the arm bar. This isn't going so well for me in mount, so all I'm looking for is that other leg. Goes over, leg, push that, all the way down to the floor, keep going for the arm bar. So even if he gets to here, okay, I have to get my hips flat to the floor, keep the ankle on the floor, and then pull myself over, okay? So, first bit is really easy. I'm just going to take this away, okay, and go and push it towards the floor. The more he pulls your arm, the easier that will be, and he'll probably drag you on top. If he doesn't, this I'm going to turn my hips over. This foot stays here. This one doesn't want to kick that leg out of the way. It wants to go through that gap. I turn my hips over, and I want to get both hips to the ground, Then I can control my arm, and then I want to pull myself on top of his legs. Okay, so one more time. So first step, he's here, recognise you've severely fucked up. Okay, okay, so now I'm going to play the armbar game instead. He goes for the arm lock, ankle, away. Okay, push this down to the floor. It's going to be tough. Okay, I want to try and get my hips down. So I can't come on top. Look, don't want to kick my legs. Foot down. This goes over. Both hips to the floor. Then get yourself over the top of the leg. And you can take that out. Okay, let's go 2 for 2.